Alright, welcome back. I am Dan the VP, and we're going to be checking out Lords of Exile. This is a kind of newer 2D Castlevania-ish like game. We'll go with that. We also have a speedrunner mode, which is pretty awesome. So time's going to start whenever I select the first level here. And that's going to be in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So we formally use the in-game timer for speedrun leaderboards. So RTA is going to be a little bit off of what you might see if you go snooping around, looking at our times for various categories. But like I said, this is Lords of Exile. We're playing as Lyria, who she is the unlockable character after you beat the main game with Gabriel. And we're playing as Lyria because she is quite a bit faster. Due in part to the fact that her base movement speed is a run, and she starts with the double jump. All the levels are the same between both characters, and it kind of necessitates giving her these abilities because she doesn't have the dash and the other movement options Gabriel has. But the side effect of that is she's really fast. She's about like 15 minutes faster. So that's how we're going to check this game out. You'll notice I already have that double jump, and she has a thrown weapon as the primary source of damage. Because this is heavily inspired by Castlevania, we're going to have a sub-weapon. So see those pop up here and there. I also already have a really chunky health bar. Really kind of harkens back to some of the more retro Castlevania Shinobi games, where there really aren't any upgrades. What you start with is what you get, except for sub-weapons. But that also means we can really take advantage of all of that health. We're already almost to the first boss. Gotta take care here. These are random spawns. So while this game does give us complete air control, which is kind of a modern thing to have in this style of a game, if you get hit in the air, you are done for. Just pray and hope you land on solid ground. As we come into the first boss here, we're going to spam these sides. And you might hear me mashing. I'm playing on a junk food arcade snack box, but it's basically mashing that is fastest to attack, but it's actually a rhythm that's not as fast as you can mash. So you might notice there's a little bit of variance in how quick I can get my attacks out. That's just whether or not I'm on that fastest mash pattern. It really only makes a few seconds of a difference here and there on some bosses. I'm gonna get the fast cycle here. 224, not too bad. And to make sure I don't die here at the end, and grab the orb. Now each level is going to keep us updated on the total time, which is going to be different than what LiveSplit is showing. The game considers the level over once the boss dies, so all these little intro scenes. We go for the quick strat here, and we made it. All right. It's mostly RNG, and the rat's following us. That's not good. All right. The beginning of this stage is all set, and you can start moving before you can see the screen load in, so you never know if you're going to be able to make the fastest cycles there until you get into the level. We've got a shop coming up, which is, we're going to see a lot of these shops throughout the game. Ideally, I don't have to stop here, but took a little bit of extra damage, so we're just going to fill up. The shops have various items. Each shop always has the same item every run. Some shops like that one you can grab a full heal from, but not all shops are going to give you a full heal, so you can't always depend on that. And these guys like to be stubborn. This is one of 2 upgrade spots for the base character. For Lyria, we're going to get the ability to destroy these blocks, and that's about it. So not nearly as exciting as what you get with Gabriel, but we will take it. And the rest of this stage is kind of an endurance test here. I want to keep as much health as I can because we're not going to have another chance to heal, and these fish will knock you right out of the air. And I want to carry these scythes all the way to the boss. There's not another refill, and they do slightly more damage than the base attack. And the other benefit to the scythes is the base attack with Lyria and with Gabriel as well has a pretty long lag after you attack before you can take another action. You can spam, but you can only get your attacks out so quickly, and you can very easily get just like glued to the floor if you're spamming attacks. But the scythes don't really have that issue. I'm gonna try not to die here and get this timing right. I'm gonna be real greedy here. Try to jump over the cutscene trigger. Aha! That saves basically no time, but... Alright, second boss here. We're gonna spam the sides and hopefully take down his shield. We take down all of them, we get a refill here. Now we're going to utilize the chunky health bar to just eat all of these attacks. Hopefully kill him in this phase. A little slow there, but all in one cycle. And another orb. Kind of looking for sub 3 minutes per level for all these first stages, so we're doing pretty good so far. This is my favorite background in the game. There's like a giant skeletal pyramid head in the background. I don't know why. It's there and it's pretty cool. It's the only time you're gonna see it. It's the first of several big vertical sections, and they are all kind of death traps. You don't die to the bottom of the screen, but you will just fall infinitely. And most of the time, if I'm gonna fall on a vertical screen, it's because I take damage, and there is no recovery from taking damage until you hit the ground. So those vertical sections can be pretty punishing. I'd like to get through here not taking as much damage, but I've already taken too much damage. So we're going to have to take an intentional death, but that is fine. These ladders, there's a weird aspect to the ladders that if you try to go down the ladder and fail, you can then just like fall straight down the ladder, which I don't know why it works like that, but otherwise you just have to crawl down, and that is a lot slower. All of these spikes, instant death, of course. Alright. I'm gonna die. I need at least 4 health to get through the screen. Luckily these boulders do double damage, so we can take a death right here. I'll have another chance to refill my scythes at the boss. And it is much quicker to damage boost through all of this, so... Almost got that last one. All right. One more set of screens and we're going to be on our way to the third boss. There is quite a few parts of the... I should have said this earlier. There are quite a few parts of this game where there's like flashing lights. And the boss is a giant spider, which I guess there's other spiders here. So if you'd rather not see a giant spider, come back in 2 minutes. Probably less. But here we go. I'm gonna try to get stuck in the floor over here. Now, there's a faster strat where you can avoid the knockback from taking damage by getting stuck in the floor. Didn't quite get it there. We did get the good position for the boss though, so we can just unload and not have to worry too much about the rest of the fight. Got another kind of desperation attack here that you can definitely die after you've killed the boss there. Especially if you kill the boss when there's no floor, you can fall to your death in a boss fight. Alright, on to stage 4. We've got the mandated train level. I don't know why. If you're doing a new 2D indie platformer, you're going to have a train. I didn't make these rules. It's probably some shadow council somewhere. But it's a fun train level, and it's not an auto-scroller, which that's the best part. I'm doing my absolute best to not take damage anywhere here. There's very little healing and lots of time, lots of places to take damage. It looks like I'm like killing more enemies than I might need to. It definitely saves time in the long run. This one specifically. Alright. Depending on what cycle you're on will depend on if those spear guys are moving or not. And there's also enemies chasing us, but we got through there quick enough that we didn't see them until the end. These fire pits are instant kill. So it can be nice having instant kill pits. If we had taken too much damage, I would have just killed myself in a pit. It's a much quicker restart than kind of tiptoeing through the rest of the stage. I didn't mention there's a down stab attack that has the very last pit. Oh, well. It's not even forgiving. Even if you have iframes, instant death. So we get to see these screens again. And I'm definitely going to take more damage. No! Alright. It had to happen sometime. So this game is the king of death loops for me. Especially on this stage. Alright. One more. There we go. We can reload the sides here, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and buy the 1 health in this level. Fortunately, there's no sub-weapons that are useful on this boss. There's a bomb sub-weapon that damages the boss, but it really doesn't... It's not faster than just basic attacking the boss. So... Oh, we're still under 11 minutes here. Not too bad. So this boss does quite a bit of damage, and it's rather random how much it's going to jump and attack. We want lots of jumps before it attacks, but this is the fastest phase. Alright, we got a lot of health here, so I can just face tank all of these attacks. Yeah. Slicers from TMNT if you're of that persuasion. Oh, alright. Still got the 1 cycle in. That's highly dependent on how long the first phase lasts. Whether or not you wrap around to the first phase again. Alright, on to stage 5. Let's see if I can get through this first screen without dying. It's this game can kind of be notorious for eating your jump. If you press it just... There's like no coyote time in this game. And if you try to jump too quickly, you'll just get your double jump, like your second jump instead, and just fall into a pit, so... My first screen is the time I usually have that happen, but... Alright. Moving on to a little indoor section here. We're going to skip some of these elevators that we come up to, and then we're going to have another kind of forced fighting section. There are no real auto-scrollers in this game, but we do have the sections that With Gabriel, you'd be getting upgrades that we still have to just kill a certain amount of enemies to progress. And yeah, you don't have to activate these elevators at all. You can get up, and we can get up here with Lyria, so. Alright, so now we're over to the next forced fight section, and this is, it's like gonna look simple, but if one of these guys gets away, it's just like chaos. Hopefully I can get the timing right on all of them. Oh, I got lucky there. That's 100% luck. Alright, I'm going to stick around here and get the health just in case. Got another couple set of screens and then we'll be on to the 5th boss? 5th? Yeah, that sounds right. There's really no need to not take damage other than it's just a little bit slower. This boss and basically every boss is going to give you a chance to refill health before the boss, which is nice. It's like little things like that that make the speed run really enjoyable. Because there's like no way to practice levels in this speed run because first off, we use speedrunner mode, which is, hold on, I gotta kill this pig. You can't go back and replay levels, so it's nice that you can pretty easily practice bosses at least. And there is a boss rush mode too that we've taken advantage of quite a bit. Alright, so pig is dead. Kind of. Not quite. Now we need the meatball pig. DVD logo boss pig. I can take one hit here from the head and I'm just being bit cautious here. No, I took it anyway. Alright, that is actually the pig dead. On to stage 6. Now, the next 3 stages really start slowly ramping up difficulty. There's a lot more instant death on top of the instant death we've already been avoiding most of the run. But these, oh, well, these floating enemies combined with the fish are just like a menace. I'm gonna try to jump high enough. The fish will only come at you, come out of the water when they're, swimming to the left. So if you're high enough over them, they won't jump. Alright. No fish. I only took 1 damage, so I don't need to heal up. Save a little bit of time there. Got a mini boss coming up. I want to stay as close to the boss as possible so it doesn't move around much. Try to get in enough damage here to get the 3 cycle. We're gonna be close here. Alright. If we hold still just here, it really doesn't matter. It's gonna get us no matter what. Alright. Fast cycle here. If I don't get it, I'm gonna die. So I want to get this, nope. We're gonna get this. I don't have this in my current PB, so I'm like forcing myself to do it every single time. All right, there we go. All of these spikes are instant death. The pillars with spikes, not instant death, but we're always going to take an intentional death before this spot anyway, so taking some time to get that fast strat puts us in the same place no matter what. But of course it's faster if we get it the first time, so. A lot of damage boost happening right here. Well, can't damage boost on those spikes. These pillars all take 5 shots from our basic attack to kill, which is why we're just kind of walking through them and eating the damage. I want to keep the rest of these throwing scythes for the boss. Hopefully get all these platforms first try without getting knocked off all the way down to the bottom. Alright, there we go. Health fill. And then hope we get some good RNG here and the boss doesn't spit on us, but it's more important just to pump the sides. Ooh. That was actually a really good phase 1. Now these fingers do 3 points of damage. We don't want to kill him at all. That was a nice quick boss kill there. Another orb coming up. On to level 7. This is best music in the game, by the way. All the tracks are pretty much amazing, but this is my personal favorite. I don't want to have to kill all these enemies, but they are notorious for knocking you into pits. And I can get a heal right here, so we're going to get that just in case. Oh, we got the fast cycle there. Oh. Almost got the fastest cycle. It is a rough set of enemies to get through. Ideally, I don't want to have taken this much damage, but we do have a heal coming up right here. The important thing is to not go to the shop twice. The important thing is to have all our sides here. So this is the blasphemous boss. But this boss takes forever to kill if you can't just pump it full of that sub weapon. Onto another vertical climb. There's a couple of spots here that are pretty treacherous, but we're gonna go for the fastest cycle. Oh, oh well, we saved it, and by we I mean I got lucky and didn't fall all the way to the bottom, but you can just make it past that enemy. But alright, we're gonna get this shield and this health here. Ideally you don't need to buy health there, but you might as well. We've got we've got health up and a full refill on the scythe right before the boss. So I can really YOLO here, as long as I don't fall in that pit. Alright. And the goal of this boss is to be an absolute bully, because he is going to fly all over the place and off screen, and ideally we just get him over here to the corner and just make him wish he was not here. Now he's going to transition phases, and so I'd like to keep I want to keep enough sides so you can still pump in some damage in this phase because he's even more... Oh, man. That was like a 30-second kill. That was a very good boss fight right there. If that boss flies off screen, he just kind of gets stuck there. And then you're just left to contemplate life. Alright, final stage. This first screen is one part of where every good run goes to die, so very kind of calculated, hopefully. Oh, I was too fast. That's what happened there, but I got greedy. I got really greedy. That's fine. Nope. I could just like stop and go really slow there, but I am prepping this for SGDQ coming up, so I'm kind of forcing myself to just full send every strat so I can try to get all of the harder bits really comfortable. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Luckily, the game is really forgiving with checkpoints and stuff. There are no lives. You're never gonna game over. Basically, every screen transition is a checkpoint, and there are some of the longer screens where you get a checkpoint at kind of like a natural transition in the stage. So these spikes are also instant death. Get a life refill here. Mini boss coming up. It's kind of RNG, but we're gonna spam. Hope he doesn't do that, but also get full health. He's just gonna jump. All right. That's the attack we want. All right. Well, I'm trying to save. I need at least like 8 scythes here to get through these spiders coming up. I'm gonna poke this guy so he doesn't attack. It's very calculated how many scythes I'm using here because there's not a good refill before this next mini boss. And then the screen after this is the biggest, it's the biggest block in this run, because if you don't have scythes to kind of clear the way at the beginning, it's just a slog, and there's no fast way to do it. That's why I'm using all my basic attacks here except for that guy. And then saving a little bit of health. So here we go. Last big screen. So all these guys follow us. It's gonna take a little bit of time here. Knock all of those out. Because now we're like between lava and the spikes for the rest of the stage most of the time. Even the tiniest... Well, now we get to see this part again without the help of the scythes, but... Come on. Alright. There's one strat that gets you through all that with a damage boost, but it's dependent on when that second spider spawns a baby. And if he spawns the baby up, you die. If it spawns the baby down, you live. So we're not gonna mess with that RNG for this run. We do have a health refill right there. I'm gonna bait out that enemy. Refill the scythe. Oh, come on. Well, the game is forgiving, but also sometimes not. This is just me being real greedy, trying to get the... not respecting the cycle of these fireballs. But we got plenty of time. This is the last bit before the final boss. We're gonna be patient here. That would have got me again. One more time. We did it! Once we got one vertical climb left. It's very easy to get knocked off one of these platforms. Being greedy there. It's really important to have as much health going into the final boss as possible, which we're coming up on the final boss now. You'll see the in-game timer is also paused. It pauses for all the... basically anytime you don't have control over Lyria, the in-game timer is going to be paused. But everything this boss does takes 2 health. And there's going to be 2 phases, and when we get to the second phase, we're not going to know which way the boss goes. And so it's either going to jump to the wall or sweep the ground, and it's really hard to dodge if it sweeps the ground. So going to try to manipulate the boss's AI, and it'll let us kind of pin ourselves in a corner, get a lot of free hits on the first cycle. I think this is our dad too. I'm not really up on the lore, but this is the final boss. Be very careful. It's gonna look like I'm like really just abusing the boss, but positioning is really important here because we're determining where the boss spawns and jumps to. Alright. So that's phase 1. We got 5 health left. I can take 2 damage, so... Gonna go against this wall in case he sweeps. Nope. Alright. Well, we got the good cycle here. You can only damage the boss at certain points, like he's invulnerable when he's bouncing and rolling. Alright. He can come to this wall now. One more set of bounces. Gonna take the hit here, and that is time. 28 in game, not too bad. Had a couple death loops here and there, but that's a couple minutes off world record. In under estimate. Just quick shout outs. Squidbit, Pixel Heart, PID Games, everybody behind this game. It was in development for quite some time, and really like almost entirely solo dev, so just shout out to the devs and the publishers behind this game. They really make a lot of these indie games possible, and I love playing all of these indie games. Shout out to Ahmad and everybody putting on the marathon. It's been a lot of fun. It's been my first time over on this part of Twitch, so I appreciate everybody hanging out, and stick around for the rest of the marathon.